Yes sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and in today's video we're going to be taking care of something that I know a lot of people have been waiting for. I've gotten a couple of comments showing you how you can black out the trim on your Nissan Altima with the chrome trim. Now for those of you guys who know, the Altima SERs actually come stock with blacked out trim. So in today's video we're going to be taking the black trim off of the SER parts car, throwing it on the 3.5 SE. Now I was going to throw a couple of clips on how I would recommend blacking out the chrome trim without swapping it over from another car, but I think what I'll do is just save that for another video. Show you guys what I think is going to be an easier way if you guys don't have access to an SER parts car, which chances are a lot of you guys don't. Before today's video, I'm going to be taking all of the black trim off of the SER parts car, throwing it on the 3.5 SE conversion car, and I'm going to show you guys the process, how everything comes off, and how everything goes back on. So with that being said, we're going to get right into it, man. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is start removing the stock trim off of the car. Now if you guys do have access to an SER parts car like I do, removing the trim is very easy. What you're going to want to do is just get a screwdriver in here and start prying it up. Now as you can see, pulling up on the trim will remove the door trim right here. Very quick, very easy. So I'm going to go ahead, do the front door real quick. Again, same process, just pulling straight up on the trim. And just like that, we have our door trim off. Now, similar process with the top and the back piece here. What I like to do is get underneath this piece right here. And again, just pop it off. There is a couple clips in the back here. And of course, we broke one of them. Why wouldn't we? But that is how easy it is to get this piece off. And then with the top is where you got to be a little more careful. There are a couple clips up here. When I did this on my last Altima, I found that quite a few of them broke, so I did have to glue the trim back on. And as you can see, that's the side molding right there. Now I ended up breaking, by the looks of it, every single clip that was on here. So we're actually going to have to glue this piece back onto the other car, which is less than ideal. Not exactly what I wanted to do with this, but nonetheless, you got to do what you got to do sometimes in order to make things work. So I'm going to go ahead, remove the trim from the opposite side, and we're going to start taking the chrome trim off of the Altima 3.5. Alright, so I managed to salvage a couple of the clips here that got stuck in there. So as you can see, this is what they look like. So we're going to use as many of these as we can in the crucial spots, mainly where this arch is, to keep things in. And then we're just going to use some silicone caulking in the areas where we don't have any clips. So now what I'm going to do is jump over to the 3.5. Okay, so roof rack is off. Now I guess what I'm going to do is start by removing this side trim right here. Got quite a few of the plastic clips that held together for the most part, so I'm going to go ahead, salvage whatever clips I can off of this, put them on the new side trim, and if we need some glue, hopefully we don't, we'll be able to glue what's left onto the car. Alrighty, so we just got some of the spare clips. What I did was I ended up clipping them in first. That way I can get everything lined up. I think I'm gonna have enough to go across the top between the two sets of trim that I took off. So I'm gonna start at the front here, work my way back, and see if we can get this clipped on good enough that we won't have to glue it. And as you can see, easy peasy, got lucky with the side trim here. I'm actually not gonna have to use any glue. I ended up having enough clips to get all the way around here. So now what I'm gonna have to do is grab this side piece. Looks like I got one clip on here that's gonna be usable. And of course the one clip that was good just broke there, so I'm gonna get some glue. We're gonna glue on this side piece and move on to the door trim. So what I'm gonna be using is some of this mono clear silicone. This stuff is really good. You can glue on a lot of stuff with this. Any trim pieces that you do have flying off, put a little bit of this on there and it is not gonna go anywhere. So I'm just gonna add a couple healthy globs of this right here where the clips go into the holes, and maybe a little bit around the edges as well, just to keep it glued down when we're driving at light speed. And with that, this piece should be ready to just slip in the top here. Those clips can go on right there. Now what I'm gonna do is let this dry probably overnight before I end up driving it, but I am gonna throw just a couple pieces of masking tape on either side. Once it dries, I'll be able to pull those off, no problem. So there's that back trim piece. Now what I'm gonna do is move on to the door pieces, which should be quite a bit easier. I'm gonna try to use my hand here to get this off because I don't really want to scratch the paint on my good car. Just pull it right up. Boom, nice and easy like that. Now these clips right here, a lot more resilient. They don't actually break quite as easy as the ones going along the top. So with the new door trim, just line it up here. Start from one end. Just push it down and line it up. And that is that for the back door. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the front here. Once you get all the clips pulled off at the front, you just slide it out like that and everything comes off. Actually, we lost quite a few of the clips on this piece here, which is less than ideal. As long as we got our other clips still on the other piece of trim, we should be okay. Now, I don't remember having to take the mirrors off the last time I did that, but I think just for the ease of access to get this exactly where I want, I'm gonna go ahead, take this passenger mirror off, and that should give me a lot easier access to get this piece on. Couple 10mm bolts here. And just like that, that piece of trim is on. We can go ahead and reinstall our mirror. And that is looking 10 times better than that ugly chrome. Go ahead, reinstall that mirror trim piece. And just like that, we have some nice, sleek black trim. Everything is clipped in rather nicely. I do have to clean it up a little bit. Once we get the opposite side on, I'm gonna get a little bit of cleaner. We're gonna make this look all nice and fresh. Reinstall our roof rack, man. Let's move to the other side. Top piece is off. I'm gonna do what I can to salvage as many of these clips as I can here, but this chrome piece right here, pretty much garbage. But like I say, in another video, I'm gonna show you guys an easy way to black this stuff out without having to take it off of the car. Again, I'm gonna try to get as many of the clips on here as I can in order to hold this trim on. Got that second back piece, which again is gonna need a little bit of glue in order to hold it in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Now we can go ahead, give that a couple of hours, but in the meantime, we're gonna move on to the door trim. And just like that, we have some legit SER trim on our 3.5 SE. Now again, I'm gonna let this dry up just a little bit before I pull off the tape. I'm also gonna go over it with just maybe some Armor All, maybe give it a nice bright, brighten up the finish just a little bit. But as you guys can see, that looks way better than the chrome. And of course, with it being genuine SER parts, you're adding, 5 to 10 horsepower per side. So it definitely helps out. Just like that, we have converted the 3.5 SE to all black SER trim. I just wanted to make this video to show you guys exactly how easy it is to swap out the trim. Took me all of about, I'd say, a half an hour. So if you guys come across an SER either in the junkyard or a part out car online, it's very easy to swap out the trim. Now I am probably going to do a video on how to black out trim if you don't have access to a parts car like I do. But if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you're not subscribed yet, I'd suggest you do so. So with that being said, we're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace!